Welcome to Beyond the Balance, where we redefine wealth and rebuild futures. Because financial freedom isn't just about numbers, it's about making your money work for you, your future, and your freedom. We're here to talk about wealth, growth, and the stories that prove you don't need a perfect balance to make a perfect comeback. Hey everyone, welcome to Beyond the Balance, where we break down money myths and help you make smarter financial decisions. I'm your host, Kyla Bell, and today we're tackling one of the most popular questions that have been floating around for years. Is renting just throwing money away? We've all heard it. We've all probably even said it at some point. The idea that renting is somehow a waste of money, that you're throwing your hard-earned cash into a void instead of building something for yourself. But is that really true? Is renting a waste of money? Or is there more to the story? Today, we'll talk about the current state of the housing market, whether buying a home is actually the best move for you right now, and if renting can actually be a smart financial strategy, depending on your goals. So let's dig in and get to the bottom of this big question. Why do people say renting is a waste anyways? Like I said, we've all heard it before. Maybe it's from a family member, a friend, or even a real estate agent. Renting is throwing money away. You're basically paying someone else's mortgage. You'll never build wealth if you're not owning your own property. These statements do sound convincing, don't they? After all, the idea of homeownership being the ultimate symbol of financial success has been ingrained in society for decades. But here's the thing. While homeownership can be a great way to build wealth, it's not the only way. And it's definitely not always the right choice. The myth behind throwing money away comes from the idea that renting means you're not building anything of your own. But here's a reality check. When you buy a house, you're not just paying the mortgage. You're also paying for maintenance, property taxes, insurance, repairs, and many other costs. Those things are often hidden costs that people don't always consider. So let's break this down more carefully. What's really happening in the housing market right now? The truth is, buying a home has become more expensive than ever. And that's why renting can sometimes make more sense in today's market. Let's take a closer look at what's happening in the housing market right now. First of all, home prices are extremely high. For the past few years, home prices have been surging. In some cities, home prices have increased at a rate much higher than people's incomes. For example, Investopedia states that in Milwaukee, home prices jumped over 20% in just 1 year. And that's huge. If you're looking to buy a home, that can be really challenging, especially if you're struggling to keep up with rising prices. And this just isn't happening in Milwaukee. Many other cities have also seen similar increases as well. Not only that, but mortgage rates are high. Not only are home prices up, but mortgage rates have also skyrocketed. Right now, the average mortgage rate is hovering around 6.65%, compared to the 2 to 3% that we've been seeing just a few years ago. That's a significant difference, and it means that your monthly payments are going to be much higher than they would have been with a lower interest rate. Essentially, what you can afford today is far less than what you could have afforded years ago, thanks to the higher interest rates. With those two other factors considered, we also have to talk about the hidden cost of homeownership. Buying a house isn't just about the mortgage payment. It's also about all the extra cost that comes with it. For example, you have to pay property taxes, homeowner's insurance, and upkeep on the property. Things like replacing the roof, fixing plumbing, or making repairs to the foundation, those all add up. In fact, maintenance alone can cost homeowners thousands of dollars each year. And let's not forget about the homeowners association's fee if you're buying in a neighborhood with an HOA. And overall, guys, the biggest thing that seems to be affecting people, especially that are already owning houses, is that the housing market isn't as stable as it used to be. Prices fluctuate, and depending on where you buy, your home could lose value in the upcoming years. This is particularly true in cities that have seen drastic price increases. So if you're buying a home with the intention of seeing it appreciate over time, you might be taking on more risk than you realize. So what about renting? Let's talk about renting, because it's not all that bad. And in some cases, it might even be the smarter choice. Let's take a look at the state of the rental market. Rent prices are going up. After a period of declines, rent prices have started to rise again. According to Apartment List, rents went up by 0.3% in February 2025. While that may sound small, the increases are still significant in certain areas. For instance, North Dakota has seen some of the highest rent increases in the past year. So while rent may still be cheaper than buying in many places, it's definitely not as affordable as it used to be. On the flip side, renting offers a lot of flexibility. One of the biggest advantages of renting is the ability to move freely. Whether you want to switch cities for a job opportunity or you're ready to explore a new area, renting offers the flexibility to do so without the headache of selling a house. And you don't have to worry about the repairs and maintenance that come with homeownership. If your sink starts leaking or the HVAC system breaks, you can call the landlord and they'll take care of it. Not only that, but there are no market risks. With renting, you're not exposed to the volatility of the housing market. If the market crashes, your rent won't be affected, and you won't lose money on a bad investment. The security of knowing exactly what you'll be paying each month is invaluable, especially when the housing market is so unpredictable. And now you may be asking yourself, which is better right now, renting or buying? That's a great question. And the answer really depends on your personal financial situation and goals. But since we can't directly answer that question, here are a few factors to consider. You might think buying a home is right for you if you plan to stay in one place long term. If you've settled and know you want to stay in one area for several years or more, buying a home can be a smart choice. You'll be building equity, and if property values rise, you could stand to gain financially in the long run. You may also consider buying a home if you can afford the down payment and the extra costs. Buying a home is a big financial commitment, and it's not just a mortgage you have to worry about. Make sure you can comfortably cover the things like property taxes, homeowners insurance, repairs, and maintenance costs. If you're in a strong financial position to take on these responsibilities, homeownership might be good for you. And the last point for homeownership is, if you really want to build equity over time. When you buy a home, your mortgage payments go towards owning a larger share of the property. Over time, that can help you build wealth, especially if your home appreciates in value. It's a long-term investment that can pay off down the line. On the other side, renting might be the better option if you want flexibility. If your job might require you to move or you just love to explore different places, renting gives you the flexibility to do so without the hassle of selling a house. Renting will also give you the ability to easily adapt to changes in your life, whether that means downsizing or relocating for a career opportunity. Another point is, maybe you just don't want to deal with maintenance or repairs. Homeownership can be a real headache when it comes to repairs. If you'd rather not deal with the stress and cost of fixing things, renting means you can pass that responsibility off to your landlord. And my favorite point when it comes to renting is, you may want to put your extra money somewhere else. If you're not ready to tie up a large portion of your savings in a home, renting allows you to keep your options open. You could invest your money in stocks, bonds, or other assets that offer greater returns. So, is renting really throwing money away? Absolutely not. Renting and buying both have pros and cons. And what's best for you depends on your own financial situation. That also includes your overall life goals and what's happening in the housing market today. Remember, there is no one-size-fits-all answer when it comes to personal finance. What works for one person might not work for you, and that's okay. The key is to make an informed decision based on where you are right now and where you want to be in the future. Whether you're renting or buying, the important thing is to be intentional with your choices and understand the financial implications of your decision. You don't have to follow societal expectations of what you should do. Focus on what's going to help you build the future that you want. And that's a wrap. I hope this helped clear up the myth that renting is just throwing money away. At the end of the day, the best financial move is the one that works for you. If this episode helped, share it with a friend. Got thoughts? Let's talk. Connect with me on Facebook or leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe.